Welcome to the Pedicare Stand Foundation, where purpose drives every action. As we celebrate our 60th anniversary, it's essential to reflect on the profound impact we have made. Through 20 monthly online seminars, we have empowered individuals with tools for personal growth and self-development, fostering a community dedicated to continuous learning. Our reach extends beyond virtual platforms to the art of education. With 33 schools in Ogun State benefiting from our initiatives. These institutions are not just recipients, they are partners in our mission to nurture young minds. Through book donations, we have supported their libraries, enriching their education. 33 schools in Ogun State. Welcome to the Pedicare Stand Foundation, where purpose drives every action. As we celebrate our 60th anniversary, it's essential to reflect on the profound impact we have made. Through 20 monthly online seminars, we have empowered individuals with tools for personal growth and self-development, fostering a community dedicated to continuous learning. Our reach extends beyond virtual platforms to the art of education, with 33 schools in Ogun State benefiting from our initiatives. These institutions are not just recipients, they are partners in our mission to nurture young minds. Through book donations, we have supported their libraries, enriching their educational journey of over 1,060 children, instilling in them the love for learning that transcends generations. Our commitment to literacy doesn't end with donations, it's a culture we are revitalizing. With our over 270,000 worth of books distributed, we are sowing the seeds of knowledge that will flourish in the minds of future leaders. Every smile we see reflects the hope of a brighter tomorrow, fueled by the joy of learning. As we look back on our accomplishment from 2018 to 2024, the numbers speak volumes. 31 free online seminars, 33 schools empowered, 1,060 children inspired, over 270,000 hours worth of books shared, 11 projects realized, 3 reading clubs established, 945,000 invested in education, 1 book compiled, and this book is a testament to our dedication to literature and learning. Together, we are shaping a future where every child has the opportunity to thrive, where knowledge is not a privilege but a right. Join us in our journey as we continue to make waves of change, one seminar, one school, one child at a time. Pedicare Stand Foundation, empowering minds, transforming futures. 7 years ago, a vision was born. A vision to nurture young minds, inspire confidence, and ignite solutions for a better world. Pedicare Stand Foundation began with a simple mission to empower children with the tools, mindset, and resilience to change their futures and the world around them. Today, that dream lives stronger than ever. Over the past 7 years, from 2018 to 2025, our impact echoes in 33 free online seminars, 35 schools reached, over 1,300 children impacted, more than 270,000 naira worth of books donated, 12 projects completed, 3 reading clubs, over 1.2 million paid for the school fees and exams of children, 1 book compiled. As we celebrate this incredible 7-year journey, we honor every child empowered, every school touched, and every life transformed. None of this would be possible without our dedicated team of passionate volunteers, generous partners, and most importantly, the unstoppable spirit of the children we serve. This is just the beginning. Together, we will continue to nurture brilliance, fuel dreams, and create a future filled with endless possibilities. Predicate Stone Foundation, 7 years of impact and a lifetime to go. Seven years ago, a vision was born. A vision to nurture young minds, inspire confidence, and ignite solutions for a better world. Predicate Stone Foundation began with a simple mission to empower children with the tools, mindset, and resilience to change their futures and the world around them. Today, that dream lives stronger than ever. Over the past 7 years, from 2018 to 2025, our impact echoes in 33 free online seminars, 35 schools reached, over 1,300 children impacted, more than 270,000 naira worth of books donated, 12 projects completed, 3 reading clubs, over 1.2 million paid for the school fees and exams of children, 1 book compiled. As we celebrate this incredible 7-year journey, we honor every child empowered, every school touched, and every life transformed. None of this would be possible without our dedicated team of passionate volunteers, generous partners, and most importantly, the unstoppable spirit of the children we serve. This is just the beginning. Together, we will continue to nurture brilliance, fuel dreams, and create a future filled with endless possibilities. Predicate Stone Foundation, 7 years of impact and a lifetime to go. Seven years ago, a vision was born. A vision to nurture young minds, inspire confidence, and ignite solutions for a better world. Predicate Stone Foundation began with a simple mission to empower children with the tools, mindset, and resilience to change their futures and the world around them. Today, that dream lives stronger than ever. Over the past 7 years, from 2018 to 2025, our impact echoes in 33 free online seminars, 35 schools reached, over 1,300 children impacted, more than 270,000 naira worth of books donated, 12 projects completed, 3 reading clubs, over 1.2 million paid for the school fees and exams of children, 1 book compiled. As we celebrate this incredible 7-year journey, we honor every child empowered, every school touched, and every life transformed. None of this would be possible without our dedicated team of passionate volunteers, generous partners, and most importantly, the unstoppable spirit of the children we serve. This is just the beginning. Together, we will continue to nurture brilliance, fuel dreams, and create a future filled with endless possibilities. Radical Stone Foundation, 7 years of impact and a lifetime to go.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are joining us from. Welcome to our seminar series, the August edition. We are so excited that you are here. We are really excited. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, Damilola Bello, Abigail, Adebisi, Ali Kola, Sheriff Atonda. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We are so excited that you are here. Thank you. And just before we begin, can we just take a moment to maybe call our friends or invite them, tell them that we have started so that they don't miss out on anything that we are going to be doing, because we are very time conscious and we are going to get right into it. Okay, so let's introduce ourselves in the comments, in the chat. Just say your name and where you are joining from. I'll go first. My name is Omowumi Omoyayi, and I am joining the seminar from Abia State, Nigeria. Okay, so just introduce yourself, your name, where you're joining from in the chats. I'll be on the lookout. Okay, Damlola Bello from Lagos State. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We are glad to have you here. Let's just introduce ourselves, everyone. Okay, and don't forget to also call your friends, invite them, just share the link with someone. Hi, I am Ride Gabriel from Ibadan. Thank you for joining. We're excited that you are here. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Please call your friends. We've started. Welcome, Yewande Akinshola. You're welcome. You're welcome to our seminar. We're happy to have you here. Hello, Sheriff Atoda from Delta State. Amazing, amazing. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us here. I hope we're all doing fine. It's good to have you here. And we're going to have an exciting time this evening. A very, very exciting time. We have an amazing speaker. We have like loads of content coming for you. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, Abigail from Lagos. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us. Okay, not to waste so much of our time, let's just get right into it while we wait for other people to join us. Yeah, we're just going to this is the August seminar, and the theme this month is Beyond Borders, Navigating the World of Global Opportunities. This topic is really exciting, and I cannot wait to hear all that our speaker has for us. I'm sure you are as excited as I am. Just drop an emoji in the chat to show your excitement level. Drop an emoji. Let's see how excited you are. Because I'm really pumped. I really want to learn how to see global opportunities in my field, apply for opportunities, and position myself on a larger scale. I'm really, really excited. I'm excited. Okay, I can see your emojis. Let's keep them coming. All right. So the next thing on our agenda tonight, just to give us a brief introduction about our PSF. I'm sure, I don't know how many people have read about PSF before, but we're going to give you a very brief introduction right now. PSF is Predicare Stone Foundation, and we are a not-for-profit organization. Yeah, just watch this video to understand who we are and what we do. Thank you.
Hello, Mom, are you there?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Olayinka. Okay, everyone. I believe that we got a bit information about what PSF is and what we do here at PSF. So just to reiterate what we just saw in the video, we have a vision to raise educated young minds that can solve national and international challenges. Thank you. Yeah, and our focus and area of influence is education and leadership. Some of our core values include capacity building and character building. Some of our missions are to build the capacity of young minds through educational programs so that they can see individual, national, economic, and international challenges and provide lasting solutions to them. Also, to cultivate a reading culture in young mind, thereby creating a platform that would make education attractive and worthy and a worthy adventure to embark on. Some of the programs that we do includes monthly seminars, which is one that you are in right now. Our seminars are targeted at we just talk about various things from time to time. For instance, now we are talking about how to navigate, how to get global opportunities. And in previous times, we've done some other things. You can always check our social media handles to see the things that we have done. You can check Instagram at Predicare Stone Foundation or LinkedIn. We also do quiz shows We host writing competitions, spelling bee competitions, and so on and so forth. One of our SDG goal is SDG 4, which is quality education. So I believe that this has given you a brief outlook onto what we do, who we are, and what we do. Yeah, so all right, so this is okay. All right, our impact so far from 2018 2023, we've hosted about 30 free online seminars. We've donated books of over 270K. We've reached over 1,000 children. We've reached about 33 schools. We've completed about 10 projects. We've established 3 reading clubs in different schools. And we've paid 845,000 naira for school fees and exams like WAEC, JAMB, and so on and so forth. So
7 years ago, a vision was born. A vision to nurture young minds, inspire confidence, and ignite solutions for a better world. Redicaston Foundation began with a simple mission to empower children with the tools, mindset, and resilience to change their futures and the world around them. Today, that dream lives stronger than ever. Over the past 7 years, from 2018 to 2025, our impact echoes in 33 free online seminars, 35 schools reached, over 1,300 children impacted, more than 270,000 naira worth of books donated, 12 projects completed, 3 reading clubs, over 1.2 million paid for the school fees and exams of children, 1 book compiled. As we celebrate this incredible 7-year journey, we honor every child empowered, every school touched, and every life transformed. None of this would be possible without our dedicated team of passionate volunteers, generous partners, and most importantly, the unstoppable spirit of the children we serve. This is just the beginning. Together, we will continue to nurture brilliance, fuel dreams, and create a future filled with endless possibilities. Redicaston Foundation, 7 years of impact and a lifetime to go.
all right, thank you. Thank you very much, and welcome to everyone that is just joining us. Welcome to Kemi, Olaitor, Samuel, Daniel, and everyone that is joining us. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. We're excited that you are here. This is the Redicaston Foundation August seminar. And we're just going to get right into why we are here. We are going to be speaking about Beyond Borders, navigating the world of global opportunities. And we have an amazing speaker that is going to do justice to that topic. And I'm just going to read his profile for a bit. Opeyemi is a community builder, an experienced data professional. He currently works as an analytics manager with data culture.
Hello? Can you hear me? Omoumi? Hello, Omoumi, can you hear me?
Hi, hello, can you hear me? Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, the laptop we're sharing with us is freezing. Thankfully,
Oh,
we have a second laptop, so you can just read
oh,
Okpeyemi's profile while this comes up. Thank you.
all right, thank you. Just give me a moment, please. Let me get to that. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So Okpeyemi currently works as an analytics manager with Data Culture, a consulting data firm based in New York, USA, where he works as a technical lead for clients for data initiative and data stack implementation. Okpeyemi has had the opportunity to consult for different industries across finance, e-commerce, pet insurance, health, tech, and so on and so forth. Outside of work, Okpeyemi is a passionate community builder. He founded one of the most vibrant data community in Nigeria, Young Data Professional. He founded and he currently leads a data tribe known as Young Data Professional that comprises smart, young, and energetic data lovers across different levels of expertise, where he provides mentorship and guidance for other data enthusiasts. He's also one of the organizers of one of the largest data conferences in Africa, Data Fest. As fun, Okpeyemi loves cycling and watching movies, and also loves traveling to explore the world. And working as a digital nomad, he has had the opportunity to travel to over 20 countries across Europe, North America, United Kingdom, and Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, with a clapping ovation in the comments, I want to see your excitement buzzing. Like, I want to see everybody showing their level of excitement in the comment section. Let's welcome Okpeyemi Fabi to this seminar. Thank you, sir. If you can hear me, you have the floor.
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you for
Yeah.
that intro. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can. Thank you very much.
All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me know once you can see my screen.
All right.
I think you would have to stop sharing.
Yeah, the laptop has frozen, but see if you can. Okay, you should share now.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right, cool. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever you're joining in from. I'm super excited to be having this conversation. And thank you, Yinka, for also inviting me. Yinka is someone we started way back, so it's almost like I can't say no when Yinka reached out for me to talk about anything. So the next couple of minutes, does anyone say anything? Okay. In the next couple of minutes, I think I plan to make this more of question and answer to help give people opportunity to ask questions. But I would also be laying a bit of foundation to give a bit of perspective around the topic, and also to give a bit of perspective to it that there are different dynamics to global opportunities. It could either be the route of going through academics, maybe you go for a master's into a good program, or you go for an MBA into a good program, and so on and so forth. So that's an option to explore global opportunity, right? But I'll be speaking from a different perspective, which is more around job opportunities. So I'm sure Olayinka is currently doing his PhD in one of the best school in Canada, so which means he would have a bit of perspective from the academic world. So in the next couple of minutes, I'll be talking around, first giving a bit of reality check. So I'm someone that don't like giving false expectation or false hope. So I won't say, oh, at the end of this conversation, you would get a global job, but it's a it's a thing where I would give you a bit of perspective and insight such that you could have something to be strategic about to help you either plan and decide what you want to do next in relating to global opportunity generally. And I would be using myself as a case study. So talking around what was a reality check for me, what I wish I knew at that point in time, 4 or 5 years ago, before I sideway into pillars for global opportunity. So how can you pretty much access global opportunity? Now, this will be more around folks that probably have a job at the moment. Even if you don't have a job, I think it's also very good you want to start thinking around global. You don't want to just limit yourself to your current demography. So, which means this also applies to you. But now I also want to cover for folks who already have those global opportunity, which means you're in Nigeria, working with a company in the US or working with a company in Canada or in Europe. It's then a question of how can you use that to access global opportunity? Because I think not many people know about this, that it can actually leverage the global opportunity that you have access to now to open yourself wide to the global world, build your network, have a better perspective to life, have good quality life, even if you are in Nigeria, by just exposing yourself to the world. So that being said, then I'm going to leave you with a charge, practical next step for either option, whether you already have a job to explore the world or you're trying to navigate the global world. Without much ado, let's just dive right into it. So what's the reality check? First thing first, I currently work, like they said, with a US-based company, but I didn't start out that way. I had to work with a lot of Nigerian companies, Bashdorf, an FMCG, manufacturer of Nivea cream, moved to Deloitte, did data analytics, consulting, moved to CareerWise, and now I'm back in a US-based company. I say that to say this. I know there are a lot of academics out there that try to create a bit of false expectation. Oh, learn this, you would start earning in dollars. It won't happen overnight. So which is why you also want to leverage the current job you are doing now, wherever you are in Nigeria, to build that competence to make you ready for global opportunity. Because the truth is, by the time you want to open yourself up to the global opportunity, it's a different terrain, right? The competition is more fierce, so which means you need to know your stuff well. And that's why you want to leverage whatever job you're doing now, whether you're a data analyst, you are a software developer, you're a product designer, you're a product manager, you're a content writer, whatever sphere you are in at the moment that you're doing in your current role, you want to leverage that to build that competence. Not only technical skill, you want to learn those soft skills. Because trust me, if there's anything that would help you to have an edge more, even when you start talking about the global job, remote job, we even be leaning more on your soft skills. So build those competencies now in Nigeria. So while yes, you can have a bit of, I know some people can say, fine, I want my first job. You can have an outlier. I know 1 or 2 outliers where their first job is a global job. I can tell you it's not the reality. It's probably 1 in 100. So don't use that as a false premise. So that's just one reality check. Now, the second reality check is this. I had to take a bit of screenshots across all the rejection I got many, many years ago. And just to say, I'm sure many of you are familiar with this. So which is why the reality check is be prepared for plethora of unfortunately. When I mean plethora, you should get to a point where you would build muscle for rejection, such that rejection doesn't move you anymore, to the extent that you can get to third stage, fourth stage. I can remember a particular job, I think it was this particular one, this second one, the top row. I got to the 5th stage, and after everything, I still didn't proceed. There was one I got to salary negotiation. After that, I didn't proceed. And that's why I said, fun fact, I was averaging almost like 15 to 20 rejection per week from June to August. Now, calculate what that number of rejection will be like for that 3 months. So that should give you a bit of perspective on that reality, that if you are not ready to be comfortable with getting tons of rejection, you probably are not ready for the game, because you need to build that muscle, you need to build that resilience just to be comfortable with rejection. And it's just what it is the game. So that's the first reality check. So it's possible, you apply for 10 jobs, you got rejection, and you're probably downcast there, which is normal. Nobody love to get rejection. Nobody loves to be dejected. So, but I'm just letting you know that you probably are just getting started. So you should start getting ready to just build muscle for getting this kind of email. The interesting one is Monzo. I applied to Monzo. Monzo is one company I really want to work with as an analytics engineer in 2021, 2022, because I really love the architecture and how they built their analytics engineering team. I applied to Monzo the first time, rejected me. I applied the second time, they rejected me. The third time, they didn't even get the feedback. I didn't even have the feedback to date. Probably got tired of me applying. So it's just something where I've gotten so used to such that rejection at the moment now don't mean anything to me. If I apply to a job now or I apply to any application and I get rejected, will I feel bad? Yes. But will it move me that much? No, I was fine. It's one of those things. So in case maybe you've been a rock star all your life where everything you've been doing, you've been getting it once. You do it the first time, you get it. You do it the second time, you get it. Trust me, by the time you want to start accessing global opportunity, it probably might break your ego where it's almost like, what's happening? Am I not good enough? Trust me, it may not be, which is something I would still talk about. So that's the first reality check. The first reality check is be prepared for the unfortunate emails. Like you get tons of it. So it's just one of those things that you would build muscle for. And just to rehash, relating to that is the competition is more fierce. I said that earlier. You are no longer dealing with, applying for a job that's only Nigerians that will apply. You are dealing with jobs that people across the globe will apply. So that means people from India, where you have a lot of applicants from India, people from US who even would have more air because most of these companies are coming from. So which means you see a better candidate that are probably at par your skill set and is resident in the US. They probably will pick that person over you because there's no restriction as relates to whatever tax regulation and all of those things. So that means the competition is fierce, which is why you just have to, one, know your onions, and secondly, just be prepared with the reality of, you're just one of those things. I get rejected, I'm going to move on. And the last thing, which is similar to me saying I got an average of 15 to 20 rejection per week in 2021, July to August. It's a numbers game. The more application you put in, the more you increase your chances. So which means if you put in 10 applications, you won't compare the odds compared to if you put in 20 applications. So it's just a numbers game. And all you just need is just 1 yes. I currently work with data culture now, and that was a yes I got in 2021, which has pretty much changed the tone of my career for me. So it's just 1 yes you need. And because of that, I just realized that it's a numbers game and you should be ready to play that numbers game. Apply aggressively. And which is why I know people often say that job hunt itself is actually a job. To be honest, it is, because you would have to be strategic. You probably go on LinkedIn to list out different companies, probably have to start tweaking your resume and start sending those cold emails and all of those things, which can be daunting. Trust me, I know how it can take a whole lot of you. And imagine now doing all of those things and then getting tons of rejection, which is why I said it's a psychological thing where you have to just build muscle to be ready to face those reality check of getting a lot of rejection. So now what did I learn from those experiences? It was just a case where rejection wasn't personal. It was more around positioning. So learning that, yes, I'm building muscle for rejection, which is why even at the moment now, when I don't need a job, I apply for those things. Just one, to build my muscle for getting better, not getting out of date with interview. So which means I just want to keep sharpening myself. Even if I don't need a job, I'm very comfortable with what I'm doing. I love my job. The pay is okay. Like I'm not looking for an opportunity now, but I still just randomly apply. Just one. Let me even see what my resume is saying in the market. And even secondly, let me still feel what rejection look like. If it rejects me, I'm like, okay, I'm still being rejected. Just that level of positioning. And like I said, each no just taught me was not working well. And most importantly, just learning that resilience, that doggedness, that tenacity that comes with just you pushing through until you get that breakthrough. I know there'll be questions, so I'll leave that to the end. The next thing now, what I wish I knew then, which is like the missing piece, just to also help anyone, by the time you start getting some of this rejection and you're wondering, is it the case that I'm not good enough? What could just be the, because at some point I was feeling that way that, am I having a bit of imposter syndrome where I think I'm good? But in reality, I don't measure up globally. trust me, it's not you. Some instances, there are just some things you don't have control over. A perfect scenario is this. Now, this was one job that was so fascinating and very interesting. TED Talk. I'm sure many of us know TED Talk. All right. They reached out to me on LinkedIn. The pay, you can see the pay here, salary 120 to 150K. I scheduled an interview. I had the first interview. I had the second interview. It was amazing. Then out of the blue, she reached out. The recruiter reached out. Hi there. Are you located in the US? Now, you see my response. I said, no, I'm not. I can tell you this was the last. I didn't get any response to this reply till date since 2021. Now, like I said, I had first interview, second interview, and it was great. So which means what stripped me out of this opportunity wasn't because I wasn't good. It was just a case where they probably needed someone resident in the US. So that's location eliminating me. So this is just a missing piece for you to know that not all jobs that claim to be remote are actually remote global. So which is why something you should start knowing by the time you start applying for jobs is there is what is called remote global, and there's also remote that is restricted to a demography. So you could see a US-based company or an Europe-based company, even a Canadian company will say, oh, we are hiring remotely, but we only want people resident in this demography. So that's a remote job, but it's restricted. And then you also have jobs that have what is called remote global or remote worldwide. So that means they don't care about your demography. They don't care where you're coming from. They just need your skill set. Come in, are you able to do the job? So this is the kind of job you want to, as much as possible, target. Now, you could also be lucky, interestingly. I think I've had this also played out where I applied for a US-based job that wasn't remote global. By the time I had the first, second stage, they loved how the conversation went and also my experience. They were able to stretch, okay, fine. Even though it wasn't remote global, but they were able to say I could work with them, even though it was just because the offer then wasn't great for me. So I'm just saying, in as much as you can also play your card to apply for remotes that are not worldwide. But this should just also help prepare your expectation that, oh, if I'm applying for a job that is not remote global, that is say remote US or remote UK, I should know that if I get a rejection, it might not necessarily be that I'm not good enough. It could just be that they are not hiring from my demography at that point in time. So that will also help you not beat yourself up thinking you're not good enough. So that's just also something to bear in mind. And like I also said too, trust me, there's an iron balance in place, which you can rule it out. And the iron balance is also the demography. Sometimes they just want these people in this demography and there's nothing you can do about it. Build all the sophisticated technology, have all the amazing skill set. They may end up hiring someone that does not even have up to your skill set just because that person is in US or just because that person is in whatever location. And you won't blame them. So there are a lot of tax policies and regulation that comes with hiring globally. So, which is why this also should just help you prepare your expectation. I should start applying for this job. And it's also the same thing I also mentioned earlier, which is like, it's a volume game. It's a numbers game. No personal failures. Just churn out more application, whether it's from the academic side of things for grad school that you want to apply to, or even on the remote global job opportunity. It's a numbers game. No pain, no gain. It's a platitude that everybody often say, but it cut across every sphere of life, where it's almost like you just have to put in those numbers, and when you put in those numbers, one will definitely opt in your favor. All right, now having established that premise of setting the right context and the right framework so that you don't think that this is going to be a stepping stone. And now, what are the pillars for global opportunity access? So how do I assess global opportunity? What are the things I need to do to at least prepare myself to say, I think I'm ready to start shooting for the sky? The first is you want to master skill that transcend any demography or geography. Now, whatever that is, it doesn't have to be tech. Even though, yes, tech lower that barrier, but it's possible there are people on this call that are not into tech and you probably don't want to do tech, and it's totally fine. But ensure that you want to pick a skill that does not have that barrier limitation, right? So you want to master that skill set. So the word master, like I said earlier, the competition is more fierce. You are competing globally. So you can't wing it. You need to know your stuff. So if you feel that you're already very comfortable with whatever skill set you're learning on your job already, I think I'm ready for the global skill, then start shooting those applications. So build global relevant skill set. high demand skill set, whatever that is. And yeah, this is also for folks that probably are still learning. Now, someone like me, I probably don't need a portfolio in quotes because I don't even have time to build a portfolio. Maybe during my leisure, I may want to create time. But my job speaks for me. If I go to an interview, I can ace a technical assessment. I can talk about past projects I've done. So if you claim you can't hire me because I don't have one portfolio, you're probably not ready, and I'm not ready to stress myself. Sorry, can you mute yourself? All right, go. But that may not be the reality of somebody else. So somebody else might need to have that portfolio. So if you are at that stage, you probably should put in the work to have a portfolio ready, at least that you can reference as the case may be. And problem solving, which is also the same thing around having a project in mind and whatever that is. I'm running very fast because I have 10 minutes so I can wrap this up, given for question and answer. Now, having said that, now you have the skill set already. You have a global relevant skill set. You're doing an amazing job in your current role in Nigeria, and you feel like, I think I want to shoot to the sky. What then is the next thing you need to do? I call it what is called the market intelligence. So you need to know where to look and how to position yourself strategically. Now, the first one is network access. Now, this is, I can't overemphasize this, that you want to tap into global communities where these opportunities are shared. Now, it's not enough for you to just join these communities. You also want to be an active member of this community, right? Because it's easy for you to, when these opportunities are get shared, and most of the time, many of these opportunities probably even don't get shared. It comes through referral. 2 people are currently on my team now, just me bringing them on board from the community because they find they're amazing folks, they're doing great stuff. I know them, I can vouch for them. They didn't have to go through the rigorous, regular technical interview and whatnot because Okpa is referring them and they know Okpa knows his stuff. So whoever Okpa is bringing, they know they can trust this person. The only thing they probably need to interview them for would be culture fit. Can they communicate well? Can they work as a team? Regular soft skill check, not necessarily technical check. And that's why you also want to tap into these global communities. There are a lot of them. Now, a lot of tech tools have specific community. So as an example, DBT has a tech tools community. Airflow has a tech tools community. Many of them has embedded global community. Each of those communities always have job channels that every now and then they post. And not only that, they always have channels where people ask questions, try to interact. So the reality is that it's very easy for people to notice 1 or 2 persons who always engage, who either ask questions, ask intelligent questions, or either help out with providing responses to people asking questions. And that's why it's just normal when these opportunities show up, or even when these people reach out to whoever the community admin are in this community, they know them, right? Because they are not just inactive member of the community, they are active members. So which is why network asset, which is why I talk about position yourself strategically. You want to tap into these global remote communities. Yes, you can still do the traditional way of go to job boards, which is still what you need to do. Search your notification on LinkedIn jobs on whatever location, whether US, Canada, that you're interested in, and apply to those jobs. But beyond that, you also want to be strategic. Tap into these global communities and maximize them well. Now, that being said, the next one, which I think I already talked about, is company research, which is know whether company, you also want to do a bit of research around, which company are probably hiring remotely, that have this remote culture, that probably are hiring remote global. There are a lot of them. You probably have to do your own diligence, which is why I said job hunting itself is a job, because you have to start probably go on LinkedIn, research, go on different job boards, go on maybe YC Combinator, which is next thing I'll talk about, which is like one strategic way to also look at this company, which is like timing strategy. Now, a lot of YC Combinator raise funds every now and then. And most time when they raise funds, they want to scale, right? They want to expand. They want to hire new talent. So which is why those are like good fish you want to shoot for in some instances. So it could be an instance where you see a new company probably just raised, you shoot the hiring manager a cold email and pitch yourself, because these people, they just got fund, and trust me, when founders just get fund, they want to spend it. Now, not necessarily blow it, but at least they want to let investors know that they are maximizing this fund. And one way they will do that is they will hire talent that will help them scale. So you want to leverage this opportunity, which I call it timing strategy. Look for these specific companies and shoot those cold emails, reach out and engage. Yes, some may not respond, but some may. Trust me, I know a couple of people that have gotten a job this way. And that's where the whole being strategic comes in as relates to market intelligence. So it's not just enough for you to have the skill set, but it's a question of, are you being strategic enough to position yourself to tap and access this opportunity? Now, let's talk about cultural currency. Now, a lot of people, yes, you have the job, but how do you maximize the global job? Because it's a remote job, trust me, it can be very challenging navigating the work relationship. It can be very challenging building relationship. It can also be very challenging to even understand the dynamics that come with things, which is why one thing you want to do is you want to build that credibility across the different culture. And one thing you will never miss out on is communication fluency. Now, over-communicate. Now, sometimes you might feel like, oh, I'm probably talking too much, or I just need to do my job and get out. Now, you will be doing yourself a disservice if you are that person that feel like, oh, I just want to do my job and get out. Trust me, you want to make yourself as much as possible visible. And one way to do that is over-communicate, ask questions. Something as simple as basic as don't join late to meetings. If you won't be joining a meeting, notify them. Like, it's normal for some reason, probably you have a logistic issue. Don't just miss a meeting without providing any context. Like, these are people that they understand being confrontational. They understand you expressing yourself. So they understand that, oh, I'm unable to join this call because I'm not feeling fine. They understand that, oh, I'm not joining this call, probably I'm having this issue. You can express yourself, right, in a way they will understand. So which is why you want to have that communication fluency. So don't just do things anyhow, because when you start doing all of those things, inherently you're also affecting yourself. Remember I said the goal is not just getting the job, but how can you use that to access more opportunities for yourself? Because the interesting thing is these people that you are working with, or these folks that probably got into global job, they become your referral for more jobs. If I want to get a new job now, all I need to do is reach out to all my colleagues that I've worked with in the last 4 years who have left my organization and let them know I'm looking for a role. Before I even start saying I want to blast people email or I want to reach out to people on LinkedIn, that will be my first target first. All the people I've worked with, I know I've built good relationship with, send them a DM and say, fine, I'm probably out of job, or I'm looking for a new role. Are you in your company, or do you have anybody? And things like that work out. And that can only happen if, moving to my next point, you want to build trust while working on the job. So develop systems that make it easy for you to build confidence, right? Now, I know now I'm sidewaying into more of, oh, for folks that probably got in the job, how do you then build that cultural currency, right? Put logistics in place to aid your productivity, right? You don't have to, if your company wants you to join a call on video, the least you can do is get a ring light. Like, that's the least you can do. Get a ring light so that you can have a bright background. Like, those little things matter a lot and create an impression towards your audience. Do you understand? So consistently deliver, which I'm sure Nigerians will always do. So because now you're on the other side, you would have to do probably times 10 just to prove yourself, right? So which means constantly deliver and proactively, which is still back to the communication fluency, proactively share status. Don't wait for them to start asking you. Don't wait for them to chase you. Be the one to proactively give updates on how things are moving. It just shows a bit of ownership. It shows responsibility, and it also shows a bit of making yourself someone visible too. These are just ways you want to be as strategic as possible from a cultural perspective, because that may not necessarily be the norm, because sometimes we not be confrontational in Nigeria, but their culture is different. It can be confrontational, it can engage, ask questions, push back. They enjoy those things. So, the last one, which is don't work in isolation. I would say this over and over and over again. Be visible. Don't work in isolation. It's not just about, oh, they give me a Jira ticket, I do it. No, like, Be intentional about being visible. Be intentional about building relationships, because it can be very difficult because it's just Zoom. We join call, your video is off. After the video, you are off. That's all. So you have to be intentional about building those relationships. And being intentional might just be schedule random one-on-one with a random team members. Oh, let's just catch up outside of work. Like, that's just it. Say, okay, fine, let's catch up and say, oh, how have you been? How's life outside of work? I can be intentional to that level. I do that once a month. I schedule one-on-one with all my team members, and the whole point is just catch up randomly. I mean, folks who I work with. And it's just a way to build that bond, that relationship outside of work, so that by the time I leave, it's not just going to be, oh, work relationship, and that's all. It's a case where I've created an impression with them, and I can always reach out to them at any point in time because we have that level of relationship. It's easy to do that when you are physical. You go to the office, all those chit chats that you have in the kitchen, you can easily do those things. But now it's very difficult. There's a barrier to it. So now you have to be intentional about building those relations. And that's where the cultural currency comes in. So now, having said that, what then should you do after accessing this opportunity? I've built my competence. I have all the necessary skill sets. I've done all the necessary job I need to do in terms of applying for global remote roles. But now I have a job. I'm comfortable. I'm earning in dollars. I'm earning in euro. But what next after a global opportunity? The first thing I want to say is leverage that global role for world access. A lot of countries across the globe now are opening up what is called digital nomad visa program, which is they know you work remotely. So now come around and work from their country and enjoy the plethora of opportunity in their country. So they have programs specific for digital nomad. There are a lot of them. Portugal, Malta, Spain, Namibia. Just go on Google and search digital nomad visa program. There are a lot of them. Portugal digital nomad program leads to permanent residency. Spain leads to permanent residency. That means these are options that once you have a remote job and you're able to show that, oh, my job is remote, from your offer, they can see that you can perform your job remotely. By applying for this program, you have a way to at least automatically, either relocate yourself, and even if you don't want to relocate, you have opportunity to travel the world, explore the world, and see things beyond Nigeria. I know, yes, you probably want to save, which is good, save as much as you do, but also tell people, as much as you are saving a lot of money, which is good, ensure you're also creating experience for yourself because you can afford those things. So it's different if you can afford those things. Now that you have access to global opportunity, be strategic about thinking globally because the colleagues you are working with are global. Now imagine they're having a conversation about, oh, I went to a trip and they're talking about their global experience. You don't want to look a bit like you can't share anything because you probably have not left the shore of Nigeria. Oh, they're talking about something in UK or they're talking about something in Europe. And you can't have an opinion because you've never traveled, right? It's not bad, but it's just a way where it just helps you also have a bit of more conversation to have and engage more and also see a better perspective of things. So this is more speaking to maybe more mid-senior folks that already have a global job opportunity, but it's a case where now I'm charging you leverage to access more the world access, which is, like I said, increase even quality of life for you. Go and see things outside of Nigeria. Go and see normality. Go and see how things are done. Even if you will come back to Nigeria, trust me, I enjoy that. But at least go and see how things are done because you have the opportunity to afford these things. So explore the world, have good quality of life. And even most importantly, you start building a global relationship. Now, all the places I've traveled, I have folks I've met, I've changed contact. It's my own global network. I won't be able to do that if I just feel like I want to save all the dollars and just sit right there in Nigeria. So it's a case where I'm also indirectly investing in my own network, right? Which they often say your network is your network, right? It's a mantra. So I'm not saying that to say this, that once you've accessed that opportunity, also be strategic not to limit yourself just to Nigeria, right? Be strategic to explore this opportunity. There are a lot of them. A lot of them are opening up now. Greece recently launched theirs. Many countries are opening their own. And most of them, you don't pay tax. So which means you are there. The only thing is just you are spending your money there. You're not paying tax because your income is not coming from them. So that is something to to buttress. So I talked about this already, which is you build a bit of global foundation. So in summary, it's more or less like a multiplier effect, which is you have one global opportunity, you use that to leverage the world, to explore, travel, see things from a different perspective and a different point of view. And now you expand your network. And what does that do for you? You have better opportunities, because by the global network that you have, you build relationship. My last trip that I went to Budapest, I did one of the activities. I met someone who's like a CTO, and we got talking. We exchanged contact. So it's almost like I won't be able to have that relationship out of just a random activity if I didn't travel. So those are just things that kind of just help build and give you a bit of global access to global opportunity. So global opportunity is not just only, oh, I apply for a job, I get it. Global opportunity is also the wide net that you have, network that you have, and the opportunity that you expand yourself to by leveraging just one global opportunity, that global remote role that you've gotten, and then capitalizing on it to give your career a bit of acceleration. All right, now let me wrap up. Practical next step. Now, for those that are probably still trying to, maybe you're just learning, you're just getting started, don't let anyone bamboozle you and say, learn data analytics, learn product design, learn software development, and start earning in dollar. Is a lie. They're just lying to you, and I would not lie to you. You won't get a global job by learning data analytics, data science, or even machine learning or software development in 3 months. You won't. It won't happen. So creating the expectation for you. So close whatever knowledge gap you don't have now. Maybe that will be the first thing you want to do. Now, if you are someone that are already very comfortable with whatever you're doing in your current job in Nigeria, but you feel like you need more opportunity, now optimize your LinkedIn profile. You can hire an HR person or any experienced person. Pay for this service. These are things you could pay for, and they can help you optimize your LinkedIn profile. Now, once you've done that, actively now join 2 or 3 remote communities. I talk about remote here, nomadly, we work remotely. And like I also gave a bit of specificity. A lot of tech companies, a lot of tech tools have specific community they have. And in those communities, they have job channels. You can also leverage that to join those communities. And lastly, I talk about what? Actively start applying aggressively with the expectation that you will get tons of rejection, which is where I started out with, to prepare your expectation. And now ending to folks that already have that good job, do a bit of research around digital nomad visa. Even if you're not even doing digital nomad visa, because there's a bit of, I won't go into the details, some requirement around that. Probably you don't want to stay for long for a period. You could also explore travel visa. Okay, fine, I just want to travel 2 weeks. I want to go to Ghana. I want to go to Rwanda. I want to work from Rwanda for 2 weeks. I want to work from Kenya for 1 week and come back. Now, those little things just help start broadening your worldview, and not just limit yourself. Okay, fine, I'm in Nigeria, I'm getting all the dollar, I want to save all the dollar, all the euro, I want to get, yeah, it's good, save as much as possible. I'm so heavy in personal finance, but even much more than that, save, invest, but still create a good experiences for yourself that would also give you a bit of ripple effect in the long run. All right, thank you, everyone. I know I rushed through a lot of things, so I would give room for question.
Wow. Thank you very much, Opeyemi. That was really, really insightful. Like, I never knew there was something like global remote restricted and remote. I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was saying.
Can hear you now. Can hear you now.
Remote. Thank you very much. I never knew there was something like remote restricted and remote global, and it's really interesting to find out that sometimes when you apply for jobs, these are like some of the reasons why you don't actually get them. Thank you so much, Opeyemi. And I know we have questions for Opeyemi. Just drop them in the chat. There will be a time where we're going to take questions. Just keep your questions coming in. Moving on, it's often said that when you want to learn anything from someone, always go for people that have experience in that area. And we are very blessed at PSF. Our very founder, Sir Olayinka Arimoro, is also very experienced in this topic that we are discussing today. He's currently doing his PhD in Canada, and he's just going to briefly share some comments on this discussion that we're having right now. So, Mr. Olayinka, over to you, sir.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, Opiano, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you too.
As you were talking, I was remembering when we were at AI for Saturday and sitting beside each.
Yeah.
Oh boy, God is good. Before I start talking, I'll just talk for like 5 minutes and open it up more to question and answer because I believe people do have questions and answer. Today is the birthday of my program director at PSF, and I wanted to just take this opportunity to say a big thank you. And if you can on the chat box, I want you to help me, wish Ayorin Day. Will Agbara is on the call as well. A happy birthday, Ayorin Day. I thank you so much for holding the fort. While I've been away, I really want to appreciate you and say happy birthday to you. So let's get into it. Like I said, I wouldn't take time, but like I was saying, I remembered when Okwe and I were in the same space, and the first point that came to my head is everybody has a unique part. Hello, people. Every one of us, the goal is global opportunity. The goal is to get something interesting, but we have different parts. We have unique parts. I decided to take a different part, you know, Okpeyemi, who is making more money and all the dollars, decided to take a different path. So that's the first point I wanted to make, that some parts will be very fast. Some people's parts will be very, very fast. Some people's journey will be really fast. Other persons, their journey will be more interesting. All right. So the question is, know your part, know exactly where you want to get to. And I would use my story in like 2, 3 minutes to explain some cogent points. I believe that Okpe has done justice to this topic, navigating the world of global opportunities. The point is, opportunities are everywhere. Opportunities are everywhere. My journey to, being in the global space started sometime in 2015. I just finished school, undergrad, Unilag, and I knew that I wanted to pursue masters because my path was more into the academics, right? And I knew that for me to compete at a global level, I needed to, get to um, a master's program, particularly in Canada. And it wasn't forthcoming, actually. I didn't have an idea um, on what to do. So my first point is leverage on connections. I think Okpe mentioned that while he was talking. Leverage on connections that you have. He talked about the timing strategy. I'll get to that in 1 minute. Leverage on connections. So as at that time, I'd met somebody we met in school, our student parish, student fellowship, and gave me the contact of one of our senior friend who was also, wrapping up his PhD here in Canada. And we got talking. During the conversation, he mentioned it clearly that one of the things that is very typical with global spaces like this is high competition, high level of competition. So he suggested to me to, because I had finished with somewhere a 2-1, not really strong, and he just suggested to me, why not go back to Unilag and do a master's in statistics to build that level of preparation before you now say you want to target global opportunities. I took that in good faith, and not just taking that in good faith, I knew this was the path I wanted to follow, and I stayed focused on it. And given that I knew where I was going to, that the end goal was to apply to a school outside of Nigeria, I needed to get good grades. Thankfully, with good preparation, God's help, wisdom, and everything, I was able to finish top of the class with a good grade, with something strong. Now that provided the leverage for me. That provided the leverage to then shoot my shot. All right. So the 2 points I've tried to make is one, leverage on connections. Because if I had not met him at that time, I wouldn't have probably gotten that insight or counsel to go back and pursue something that would give me more leverage. All right. So that's one. Number two is know your stuff. I think Okpe talked about it. Know your stuff and prepare for opportunities before they come. All right. My way of preparing was to go back to do a master's and to get a good grade. And when the opportunity came forthcoming, I was ready for it. All right. That's the second point. Be ready for the opportunities because the opportunities will come. I think there is a common saying that says that people count it as luck, but usually it's when preparedness meets opportunity. That's when you say luck. All right. So that's the second point. The third point I would say is, again, timing is very important. Timing is very important. And this still ties back to leveraging on connections. I think Okpe talked about it some slightly during his talk. One thing that really helped me, so this whole process took me from 2020, I finished 2015, went to serve 2017, 2018. I was in conversation with this senior friend and we're talking. I got back to my master's 18, 19, 2018, 2019. 2020 was COVID year. So by 2021, I was ready to shoot my shot. You see how it took me longer, like almost 5, 6 years, but I was still focused on what I wanted to achieve. All right. And as at that time, an opening came. This same senior friend of mine told me, this person, there's a new grant that just came out. And like Okpe said, that when new grant comes like that, it's not just in the academics, even in the industry, people want to hire. This is why we're saying leverage on connection. Leverage on connection. He had told me at that time, and before then, I'd been applying to schools in the US. I've been applying everywhere, and it wasn't forthcoming. So he told me, check out this person. I never heard about that person in my life. That person actually is my supervisor now. This grant is open. Why not shoot your shot? I will tell you one secret today. Immediately, I reached out to that person. That person, who is my supervisor, forwarded that email to this senior friend of mine. And I don't know what happened after that. I believe he gave me a good recommendation and things like that. So it was just like magic to me. I had been preparing and applying for a long time, almost a year. And just in 1 hour, everything was about to change. Just by being prepared and taking that action, leveraging on that connection there. And this person, my supervisor reached out, we talked, interviewed me. Thankfully, again, preparedness was there. And then the whole story ended. Like it's now a story, right? Now, the point I'm trying to make here, so I can round off and open it up for more questions, is number one, leverage on your connection, know your stuff. Timing is important. Okay, another piece I would say is that as at the time I had reached out to my supervisor, he wanted to take me after the interview, but I think there wasn't an opening, even though the grant was available and all. I don't know what happened in between that, but he didn't have the bandwidth to take new students. And he asked me, are you ready to wait another 1 year? So my process to global opportunity or global whatever took over 6 years. So like I said, everybody's path is unique. Some people will be in 2, 3 years, they are done. Mine took like 6, 7 years. And I had to wait again another year until it was perfect time. So this was like 2021, 2020, 2021. And then I would say the rest is story. So I just wanted to, put that as a cap up on Okpe's insightful talk. And let's open it up to questions. Over to you, Omomi.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Olayinka. That was really, really amazing. I love the point on leveraging on your connections, because really your network is your net worth, truly, truly. So thank you very much for that, sir. So Mary Abiondo has a question, and this question is directed to Mr. Okpeyemi Fabi. She's asking if, okay, let me just say it how she typed it. Can you travel with your family on a digital nomad visa?
100%. So all digital nomad visa allow you to come with your dependents. It's even interesting that some of them have a caveat that you can even bring your, in quotes, either your girlfriend, your boyfriend, if you're able to prove that you've been dating for a while. So actually, you know how the barrier is so low. So even how much more if you're married or if you have dependent like children and all of those things. So yes, you're able to move your children on normal visa. So they will be on the normal visa too.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Yemi. I believe your question has been answered, Mary Abiodun. Right. Another question to Mr. Okoyemi. How do I work on communication fluency? I struggle. Okay.
So I would say, yeah, it requires a bit of being intentional about it. So intentionality would be volunteering to present, because that may be you leaving your shell. You make mistake, it would probably be boring, but it's just normal about any skill sets. The more you do it often, the better you get. However, you could also explore other options that are available to help people build competence around this thing. An example is Toastmaster. So people sign up for Toastmaster just to build that communication skill set, just to build the ability to speak fluently and also be able to articulate their thoughts. So if you think, oh, I don't think I'll be able to help myself as it were, having to, okay, fine, volunteer and do all of those things. Oh, I can just sign up and pay for it. I don't know how much Toastmaster charge for annual subscription. So they have a lot of branches across Lagos. So that may also be an option you want to explore by signing up for Toastmaster or any classes that are available that teaches how to communicate, how to improve yourself as relates to public speaking or communication generally. So if you do that, I think you should, over time, get better at it.
All right. Thank you very much, Okoyemi. Tahi Adeleye, I believe that your question
I wanted to add something to that.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
So for some people, communication comes naturally. For someone like me, I like to talk. For other people, it takes intentionality. So you have to be intentional with it. You have to actually face it. All right. You have to face it. And like Okpe rightly said, you have to get trained as well. Even for people who like love to communicate naturally, or communication comes naturally, so you still have to get trained. But the point I wanted to make is you have to face it. You have to let go of the fear of communicating, because in this world, one of the most important skills you can actually have is communicating. Our ability to, some of us in the academics disintegrate complex, processes to a layman to understand. So these are some other levels of communication. But for the start, I would say face it, be out there, be ready to, let go of that, being afraid of talking to people, being afraid of relating to people, being afraid of socializing, because that's how you can actually start creating those connections you get. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Olanka, for that amazing contribution. Okay, while we still wait for more questions, I have a question for Mr. Okoyemi. While you were talking, you mentioned some of these jobs being remote global and remote restricted. Is there a way to actually know that, okay, this job I'm applying for is actually just restricted to a particular region, or it's not something that is for public knowledge? I should just apply anyways.
Yeah, good question. So some are actually generous enough. You will see remote worldwide. You will see remote global. Like you would explicitly know, even from their description, they will say that anyone across the globe can apply. Now, most of them would have that demography. You can see remote, Canada, remote, US. So you can most likely know that this job would, as it were, require someone, even though it's remote, there'll be a bias around location. Can you still go ahead and apply? Yes, like I said. But at least this help prepare your expectations such that if you get that rejection, you won't feel bad too much. Probably understand that maybe they probably are not open to international. Do you understand? So it's just a case where you can still apply. Like I said, I gave an instance where I saw a job that was remote US. I still went ahead and applied. I was in stage 1, stage 2, even get to base of salary was a case of what they were offering. It makes sense to me. Do you understand? But I would have known that they would be open for me because they knew I was in Nigeria. So it's just a question of, like I said, give it a shot and apply. But that help you prepare your expectation when that rejection comes, even before getting anything. Okay, fine. Probably it's not because I'm not good or my resume is not good. It's probably just me that they don't want someone outside of that region.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Okay. Someone's asking, for those seeking global opportunities via the postgraduate route, I believe this question is for Mr. Olayinka. What are the requirements? Let me take it again. For those seeking global opportunities via the postgraduate route, what are the requirements?
Okay, thank you for that question. I think that different schools have different requirements, but I done a talk on this some months ago. I don't know. I was trying to look for the link to that session. Perhaps I can share that. But different schools have different requirements actually, but there are general boxes that you will tick. Number one is get good grades. If you're on this call right now and you're in undergrad, maybe I don't know what level you are, and you want to actually go to grad school outside Nigeria, you cannot compromise on good grades. School is not scam for you. People like Oga can say school is scam because after they get their first degree, they can go and learn the skills and But for you that want to do grad school, school is not scam. So number one requirement I'll say is very good grade. Usually schools in Canada, I know more of schools in Canada, require you to have at least a 3.0, 3.0 GPA out of 4. And I wanted to say this very important, especially for those that are in year 2 and year 3 or something. The last 2 years of your undergrad is much more important. It was one thing I learned, while I was applying and things like that. They focus more on your last 2 years because usually they want to see how you progress. My first year in the university undergrad was really bad, but my second, third, especially the third and fourth year were really good, were really, really good. So they are more interested in what was the last on many application forms you will see there what are the last two what are the GPA what's the GPA for your last two undergrad. All right, that sometimes they look at that. So first, number one, good grade, check the school you are willing to apply to. Number two that you would look at is reference. Please and please, again, leverage on connections to get good reference letter. Usually schools require maybe 2 reference letters. Reference letters, I think that some of the professors here in Canada probably need to hold a workshop on teaching some of our Nigerian professors or lecturers how to write good reference letters. Reference letter is a good boy. No, is not, is a good student, is studious. No, that's not a good reference. A good reference is, I taught this person did excellently here. These are the examples that this person has shown. This person has done so thing to show that they can take on independent research. They can think independently. They can synthesize the literature, for example. So those are good references. So number one, your good GPA. Number two, good reference letters. Number three, you can look at some schools require that you have a supervisor that will supervise you before they start, especially when you want to do thesis-based graduate program. They require that you have a supervisor, particularly the supervisor has good funding, funding for your program. All right. And then that's the whole process of you reaching out to the supervisor. The first process of you even reaching out to such supervisor is I'm going to another question, but I think I should merge it with this, is your good grade and your interest in that supervisor's area. Perhaps you can say you have been studying this person's paper and this area of research interests you. That can open up that conversation from cold email to now, getting an interview. What else are requirements for grad school? Good grade, good reference letters, some experience too. Some experience will really help. For example, if you say you want to do biostatistics, that's what I'm doing. Some experience with have you analyzed, what have you done in the past? And that's why I'm still grateful for my industry experience, working with some hospital data and things like that. It really helped in every of my, interviews, in any even scholarship that I applied for to date. I put it there. So your experience too matters. Sometimes people look at your publications. Your publications research you have published. Very rarely will you see many of our undergrads at universities in Nigeria publish papers. It's very, very rare. Some do it, but it's very rare. Now, so in place of publication is your experience. So for me, I didn't have one publication when I was applying, but I used my experience having worked with data wrangling, IDAF. I'm still grateful to Mr. Theo Medeiros, who opened me up to that opportunity. So I used that as my experience. So again, experience will matter. Your publications can also matter as well. If you have such publications, I think these are just general requirements. Let me hold off there. Yeah, Okwe's hand is up.
Thank you very much. Okay, Sabo, do you have something to say?
No, just to add, at least peradventure, if the person also asking the question of you're done with undergraduate and you can't go back and do it again in terms of good grade. For US schools, one way you can also augment your grade is taking either GRE. So if you have a good GRE score, that can help show good, at least augment whatever grade you had in your undergraduate that was not so great. So just wanted to point out for anyone interested in grad program, maybe in the US, and you feel like, oh, my undergraduate grade is not so great, how do I augment for that? So GRE is also an option to explore.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Olayinka, Mr. Okwe. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 questions at the same time because of our time. This one says, can you help with a cold email template that works? Try different cold emails, not always successful. And someone else is asking, any thoughts around independent contracting and FTE when assessing this kind of opportunities? Is one better or easier or an easier entry point? Okay.
Let me start from the second question. To be honest, it depends on, both can mean the same thing. As an example, I'm currently a full-time employee at Data Culture, right? I get everything a full-time colleague in the US are getting. So which means even though, yes, they are not paying for my 401, which is like your HMO in Nigeria, but I'm getting the cash value of it. So that means even if they would pay that for my colleague in the US, I'm getting the cash value of it. And other benefits where my colleague will get, I'm getting cash value. So I'm getting all the benefits a full-time will get. However, I'm still classified under independent contractor by virtue of the fact that I'm not in the US. And also based on just walking around the global tax regulation and all of those logistics. So which is why both of them can pretty much be similar. Now, to your question, so it's not like one is better or the other is easier. Now, however, if you're talking from a point where some company might say you are just coming for a specific project on a contract business, okay, fine, it's just 3 months. I think that may just even be a good way, because you coming in, do a project for 3 months and you do it well, one, you build that good relationship. So which means if more project comes in, they would always reach out to you. And peradventure, if there's opportunity for full-time for converting it, they can easily convert you. So if that's the question, so that's also an option where that might also be a good option to explore. Now, to the question around cold email template, to be honest, I think ChatGPT will do the best job around giving a template. Now, will it always be successful? Like I said, it's a cold email in the first place, which means you can do 100 and maybe it's only 2 that is successful. And that's still why it still come back to the numbers game. Remember I talk about the numbers game. It's still the numbers game. Yes, you could do something better by probably maybe how you are presenting yourself, your fact, how you are pitching yourself. Like what people say, your elevator pitch, what does it look like? Your 1 minute, like that you could work on that. You could have an expert help you to even see in the first few sentences of me introducing myself, will it tune anybody off or it makes sense? So that can be worked on, but generally you can't always have a conversion from all your code email, to be honest. I'm sure there are a lot of code emails I've sent that I've not even got a response with it. So don't let that discourage you. Let that also be part of the numbers scheme I talked about earlier.
Yeah, so like I said, for me, I don't think I'd like to share codes email templates these days because when I wrote my own code email was probably 2020 or something, so it's probably archaic. But with advent of smarter intelligence systems, you could write that. I also shared in the chat box the presentation I had at Lumix Foundation. You can see the PDF there. Perhaps for those interested in grad studies, you can check that. And of course, you can reach out to me for um, any other question. And for the contracting one, I think again, it depends on, it's just on paper. It's just name on paper. The most important thing is, do you get some of the benefits? And like you rightly said, for US company, I remember I even forgot, I used to work for Coursera to build some projects, some guided project courses for them. I was also called an independent contractor um, for that role. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Opeyemi and Mr. Olayinka, for your answers to the questions. Because of our time, we will not be able to take any more questions. But Mr. Okwe and Mr. Olayinka, if you could please drop your social media handles in the comments, in the chat rather, so people can reach out to you if they have like questions around this anytime soon. If that's fine, please, can you just drop it in the chat? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we're just going to be moving on to the announcement. It's going to be done by Mr. Olayinka. You have the floor, sir.
All right. Thank you so much again, Okpeyemi. I really do appreciate that you're here to talk about this important discussion. And it's a big honor that whenever I call, you respond it. I don't take that for granted, and I appreciate the friendship that we have. Thank you everybody again for being here and staying till this time. In the next few minutes, I just want to go through some announcements, particularly of some of the projects that we are doing at PSF. I don't know if you were there at the beginning, but we played a video of some of our impact, that journey so far, and the impact we've made. In our little space, one of the things that I begin to understand is that you don't have to get the whole world to make impact. You can start from the little things you do. All right. In July, just recently, no, it was in actually August, we had a teachers conference. It was an all-day event. It was really beautiful. In December, we are hoping to launch an online quiz show for kids. We are working on that. We've had some set of, shoot. All of these projects are resource intensive projects, and the reason why I'm announcing this is some of you that make all the dollars on this call to send in your support to us. This was a teachers conference. Was a very powerful session, and some of the teachers and all of our events from the last 7 years, we started 2018 till now, we've never charged for one event. We have never charged for one event. So it's all been free. So this teachers conference, the budget was over 800,000. It was the first of its kind, and it was totally free for teachers to attend. The quiz show as well, students just come and play on the show and win up to like 200,000 in cash prize. So these are some of the initiatives that we are starting here at Predicate STEM Foundation. For the quiz show, I just wanted to put it out here that you can definitely reach out to us if you want to support us. And if you know anybody who will fit this criteria, the criteria is just that being junior, senior secondary school and be between 9 to 16 years old. The link to fill this form for the registration is just on the screen. You can share this with you have a junior brother, younger brother, younger sister, cousin, niece, nephew who would fit this, intelligent, smart, and would love to be on this show. Some of the videos should start coming up, from September, but it's like, just imagine who wants to be a millionaire for children, although not on that who wants to be a millionaire level, but something like that. All right. And seminar still continues. We would have one more in October. We are doing the one in August. For these seminars, I think on the chat box, I believe that Omowumi would have started sharing the link for us for the feedback form. I want to implore you, please. We had over 30 people join the call. Right now it's 22, but please, if you see that message, kindly share the feedback form. Share the big feedback, click on the feedback form in 5 to 7 minutes. You can provide us a feedback. We would appreciate so much. For the context, we had the essay competition where we had students write some essay, and they also went with cash prizes. All of these were free. In November, our landmark events, the spelling bee will be happening also. So this is a flyer for the essay, and it was really good. You see, we had people from everywhere in Nigeria, people from the east, people from southwest. I'm not sure we had anybody from the north, but we had people from everywhere come contest. It was an online event. We merged it with our Founders Day, and people just came to children, particularly in senior secondary school, talked about how they hope to leave a legacy of innovation and creativity. And you will be amazed with what people are actually doing, what these kids are actually have on their hands. All right. I just wanted to play this 1 minute video on our last spelling bee that we had in November last year. Yeah. Can you guys hear the audio?
For the spelling bee competition.
Yes, you can.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Right. Yeah. It looks like there was a lot of people crying last year. I wasn't there, but I had a reliable team that, do this program. So I want to encourage you to support us. Again, how you can support us, follow us on all our pages. I'll be sharing that in a bit. You can also send your contribution, to this account. I'll leave this up for 1 minute. Please, these events, these programs, this project are intensive, resource intensive, capital intensive projects, and we really love your support. And please reach out to us anytime you see our posters, our flyers. Try to share them, try to link up with us, try to comment, try to share them, try to support us. We really appreciate that. And this is our social media page, Predicate STEM Foundation, on all our pages. Kindly check us out, and we appreciate that. I would just say again, thank you for joining the conversation today. Thank you for being here, and I really appreciate it. I look forward to having us at another time. And for now, bye-bye. Take care.
Welcome to the Predicate STEM Foundation, where purpose drives every action. As we